It's the third week of high school football action, so it's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Welcome into another edition of Football Friday Night. I'm Jacob Seuss. There's a saying in sports, you are what your record says you are, and I've always believed that to be true. So tonight we start things with our 5 News Game of the Week, where both Greenwood and Northside, well, they are a combined 3-0. What a game we had out in Northside. Greenwood trying to avoid its first loss in over 2 years. Northside, on the other hand, well, they want to play upset. Early in this one, Northside's Walker Katsavis looks for Damari Smith on the far sideline, but a great defensive effort by Greenwood's Colin Daggett gets a hand in there to knock it away. Then it was Northside's turn to return the favor. R.J. Lester saves a would-be big gain by swatting it away from the hands of Bryce Caldwell. Then Ty Massey, from about 10 yards out, finds a hole and gets the first points of the night. Grizzlies up 7-0. Greenwood, though, they would go on to score on their next possession here. They look to take the lead. Hunter Houston finds Tanner McCusker wide open for the deep touchdown. 14-7 Bulldogs. But Massey, once again, this kid can't be stopped. 50 yards to the house. Grizzlies, they would only trail by 1 going into halftime, but get this, a huge second half. Greenwood gets upset on the night. What a game in Fort Smith. It ends with Northside getting the win 29-20. Our 5 News Game of the Week, well, it certainly didn't disappoint. So now we're going to head out to Fayetteville. They were hosting North Little Rock, and Kane and Sandy in the house getting ready for tomorrow. Second play from scrimmage. We know this man. We see him every week. Isaiah Satenya. He's at it again. Makes a circus catch, and the Bulldogs were driving. But later in the drive, Fayetteville knocking on the door. Handoff to Uriel Espino, who takes the hit, keeps on going, but on the second hit, the ball flies out of the end zone. Fayetteville's drive, it would end in nothing more than a touchback. Later in this one, first quarter coming to a close. NLR up 7-zip and driving when Torrance Moore makes the grab, jukes one defender, and has himself a touchdown to put the charging Wildcats up 14-0. Fayetteville would keep this one tight, but in the end, they fall for the second straight game. They're now 1-2 on the season as we head toward conference play. 2 down, a lot more to go. And when we return Prairie Grove, they travel to Pea Ridge, looking for its first win of the season. More when Football Friday Night rolls on.
What's up? I'm Darren McFadden. You're watching High School Football Friday Nights.
Go Dogs!
Welcome back into Football Friday Night. I think we can all agree it's the best time of the week. I'm having fun. You're having fun. Let's keep it going. A new head coach, a younger team has equaled the 2-0 record for the Farmington Cardinals in what has been one of the biggest surprises so far this season. And tonight, the Cardinals hit the road for a battle with Springdale. And the Purple Dogs, they had a 19-0 lead at halftime. Brett Hobbs looking for his first win as the team's head coach. But Farmington says not so fast. It starts on defense. Wyatt Powell comes away with the monster tackle. The Cardinals force a punt. Ensuing drive, the Cards go for it on 4th down. Cameron Van Zant hits Kane Taylor, who jukes through the Springdale defense, and he has his eyes on 7. Farmington comes all the way back, folks. 20 unanswered points. They improve to 3-0 on the season. You can't say enough about this Cardinals team. They are one of the best in the state so far, and the turnaround they've had under J.R. Eldridge to start the year, well, it's been remarkable, and these boys are good at football. Next, we head up to Alma. They were hosting Poto tonight in a battle of 2 top-notch teams. We start this one first quarter. Jackson Daly is going to hit Connor Stacy for a decent gain, but the bad news is Poto had a 35-6 lead. Stacy, though, he had a good night for his team. He has a short run, doesn't go down, but again, Alma trailed by a lot in this one, and Poto would go on to get the big win. They win 35-12. So from Alma, we head to rival Van Buren. They played host to Rogers Heritage tonight. Pointers, they were looking to start the season 3-0. And Eli Craig on the other side for Rogers Heritage breaks through the defense. He is a big gain, but we still had no score in this one. And the Pointers, well, it was time for them to turn things up. Bryce Perkins, what a tremendous start to the year for the Van Buren quarterback. He scrambles. He's going to throw it to Malachi Henry. Pointer Nation, I can say his name right, and this man can score touchdowns. It was 7-0. So how about Rogers Heritage, though? They were in this game until the end. Carter Hensley, he's going to hit Tillman McNair, corner of the end zone. It's good for 7. We were all evened up. But the pointer said, all right, we're done playing games. Perkins, Jacob Galavis, touchdown, 14-7 Van Buren. They go on with the rout, 35-13. Next up, Pea Ridge, former Hog Bray Cook and his Blackhawks. They were hosting Prairie Grove, and an 8-minute opening drive for Pea Ridge. Gavin Dixon, he's going to punctuate it with this scramble up the middle, and he scores 6-0 after the missed 2-point conversion. But the Tigers, they're 0-1 on the season. They want to win, and they're going to respond quickly. Second play of the drive, Ethan Miller breaks it outside, up the sidelines, 30-yard. There goes our man. Prairie Grove up 7-6. But the Blackhawks' next possession, well, they have an answer for you. Play action. Dixon again, he's going to find Trevor Blair for the touchdown, 12-7 Pea Ridge, but it came after another missed 2-point conversion. So Prairie Grove says, all right, time for us to take control of this one. They're driving here, and a botched handoff. Marion Williams, recovers the fumble for Pea Ridge. But closing minutes of the first half, this is where this game turns on its head. Dixon, he's going to get picked off by Colin Falk. And get this, he is off to the races. The pick six gave the Tigers a 14-12 lead, and that's all she wrote. Prairie Grove goes on to win this one big, 41-28. But we're not done yet. Coming up, Southside look to crack the win column for the first time here in 2021, welcoming Russellville tonight to Fort Smith. Highlights and more coming up when Football Friday Night returns. It's Friday night. There was football. You get the gist. Football Friday night, the place to be. Week 2 almost done. We got one more game to go here where Southside, they played host to Russellville tonight. Mavericks looking for their first win of the season. Russellville, on the other side, they're looking to stay hot after their 1-0 start. So let's jump to the second half in this one. Russellville's Gavin Graham is going to find space, take it to the far sideline where he is absolutely rocked. But don't worry, he was all good. Stayed in the game. Hangs in the pocket here, and he's going to find Elijah Clark. After taking the hit, he just gets right back in there. Little trickery here now by the Cyclones. Benjamin Hallmark takes the direct snap and scores with ease. Cyclones up 21-20. And here's our man Hallmark again. The ball spins away from tackles and let the big man rumble. His second touchdown of the half. Russellville up by 8. And a defensive pass interference call keeps the drive alive for Southside. David Sorg slips it to Amari Tucker. Takes it in for the Mavericks touchdown. We had a 1-point game, but Russellville only needs 2 plays to start the fourth as Tracy Daniels scrambles it in across the goal line. 35-27 Cyclones. Last play starts here for Southside. That would be it as Russellville goes on to get the win. 48-27 is your final. So that's going to put a bow here on week 2, our third week of action here of the high school football season. There were a lot more games than the 8 we showed you, so let's head to our website, 5newsonline.com. More scores and highlights from around the state. We have Athlete of the Week, Sweetest Play of the Week, all that good stuff. So send in the nominees. Let these kids' names be shown after the weeks they've had. And tomorrow, a huge one for the Hogs. Arkansas taking on number 15 Texas. That all goes down 6 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN. We're going to get you set all throughout the day. SEC Nation begins at 9 o'clock. You can start being there at 5:30. See Tim Tebow and the gang get you ready for the game tomorrow. But that's going to do it. Another week of high school football here. And have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.